InShalla and Ashe. Holistic medium and subtle energy surgeon here, Tonya D. Welcome to my daily snippet. Today you're getting me in the raw. It's a pull day with my fairy children, so in case you didn't know, it takes about 48 hours for your hair to actually dry from the inside out. So I thought I would give it a break. But today is like this, my daily snippet is kind of a compilation of the elemental realm. I utilize the 4 pillars. I look at the energies of the yin and the yang, the pathways, the meridians, the cosmic highway, along with the realm of the spirit, the energetic centers and the fields. And honestly, with all of these energies literally coming at us in a variety of ways, or at least, it might feel that way, to really hold space within this ultimate galactic creator story, as we move into the thread lines of the end states of awareness of 2021, what is the cosmic reality? Are you connected to your heart's channel, the prime directive, or I should say the director of your story? So it feels like we're just floating through the channels of the earth, or at least at times we are. The narrative of what a good life is, or a career, or family, or whatever, a relationship, it doesn't really matter, and I really sense with all this techie stuff, all the computers, that's a lot of metal energy, and it's in nature that we need to connect and start coursing that through our veins. Possibly I'm going to go on a hiatus in October, so my daily snippets will actually be on a hiatus as well. I'm not sure about that, but I kind of tuned into that this morning. But today we are cascading into the realms of our inner child, bringing her out in like full blossoming form. And the status of our realm, or your realm, will establish kind of your mood for the day, along with the emotions, or validating those emotions of your inner child, the essence, when you can stand outside of yourself and look at yourself as your 2-year-old self, your 4-year-old, whatever self you want to look at. It's usually the first thing that pops in your head. And news about your childhood. What was it like? Did you play in the mud? Did you go camping? But before we go there, let's take a look at the elements of the day. We have this wood or nature yang, this Yaaaay Daymaster with the dragon on the branch. And we also have a combination of yin and yang energy. There's not a lot of fire, though. There's not even any in the hidden stems either. Actually, it's just on the month at the heavenly realm there. And the hidden yin wood is in the branch of the dragon. So a key word for the dragon is actually magic and otherworldly beings. The wood daymaster, that's growth, it's expansive. It provides us with a direction to actually achieving a goal. So, whatever it is you want to, an idea that pops in, make goals, take the initiative. And the water element that actually nourishes the daymaster is actually hidden in the stems, and it's actually hard to get to because it's hidden. It is there though. So I would actually ground into the element of water today to nurture the day, and feed our daymaster those ideas. We need to have those otherworldly conversations is kind of what I feel to say. The relationship, that would be the daymaster, brings the person wealth, the dragon, below the wood. So what kind of relationship can bring somebody wealth? So we have, other resources kind of wealth, like where we inherit wealth, or resources come to us in ways that we don't see. And we also have the other kind of wealth that is taken away or comes in an unethical kind of way. So, and it's also the wealth that we actually produce for ourselves, that we create on our own. So one is becoming and the other one is kind of an unbecoming way, or how it comes in. So our month branch also has hidden earth at the very bottom there. Sometimes I wish I had I don't know what you call them, like the little things that you can move around your screen. I'll get to that. But the hidden wealth, or the hidden wealth actually of earth on the month. So the parents actually might be a supplier of wealth assist in going to college or, whatever that looks like, assisting in purchasing a car, co-signing. So if this was a person, they take their ideas, which is wood, and create a skill, which is the monkey, in an area of life that has to do probably with careers like metal, making jewelry out of metal, computers, innovative technologies. And water would be the conductor. So definitely ground into water, the moving kind. Moving water is a yang element, and our day masters are actually yang. So when it comes to day masters and the nurturing element, it has to be of the same frequency. So it's the yang and the yang. For the other elements to be uplifting and positive, they need to be yin for a yang person. Hope that makes sense. So that's kind of what that looks like. Now, the cosmic energy, where are the planets today? Which is actually pretty curious. I was just looking at the planets, and we still have this awesome air trine. Air is our relationships. It can't be caught. It's like our voice, how our voice is. Air is our voice. Innovative is our voice open and channeling through our throat center. Or is it our ideas, our mind, coming in through Gemini? So those are just some different aspects. They're actually, trines they're healthy, they're beneficial. I almost said they're bountiful. But the opposing sign to Virgo is actually Pisces. So with that being said, Pisces is, it's our God channel. That's kind of how I see it. It's bringing the spirit to the earth because the sun is actually out in the sky. It's in Virgo above us. So Leo is our heart. We just, we've been in the full narrative of our heart story, our personal heart story through the season of Leo. And it's also our heart channel and our heart center. So I see the planets just as if they're actually connected to our energetic centers and our auric fields. It's just how they come in cosmically, because there's 12 plus centers, and there's also, to me, there's 12 plus planets or moon cycles or whatever. So we're expanding last month our heart's desires, especially, not only did we have a new moon, but we also had like the Lion's Gate, which was next level. And then we had 2 full moons in Aquarius. So you might have this self-realization that your inner child, your essence of who you are when you were young, was left behind during that process. It's our emotional foundation. If you're like me, I do rituals with all kind of the phases of the moon. Sometimes after, I honestly just did my Sturgeon Blue Moon ritual yesterday and into the evening. We had some really young water here in Salt Lake City, and I just wasn't able to create the village for my ritual, my habit, that my heart authentically desired. So I waited, and it was magical. But since, we're still in the threads, the ends, the frequency of that full moon energy, it actually still takes in the effect. I was also able to finally sleep outside in the comforts of nature. That's really a thing for me, and get really elevated with the brightness of the moon. The moon was like glorifying the last 2 nights, just being reflective of staying in the channel of what I call the God channel, the realm of spirit and all the magical spirits, really. So if you woke up with a feeling of a sensation of being, maybe you were moody, maybe you were sad, maybe you were angry on the inside, that inner world, it would be a magical idea with the dragon and the wood daymaster to put all of your actions of your heart's story, your narrative, from the season of Leo literally into action, which is curious once I get to the cards of today. But, you want to really get back into the station of your heart and nurture yourself back to your entire beingness, your embodiment of your heart channel. What's your heart story? So when you establish this connection, you're going to be able to kind of play chess with the details of your current reality, even in our body. So Virgo is our body. That's why this is going to be all about health, service, and of bodiness. And it plays out in different channels in astrology for each and every one of us. Mine happens to be in the first house, so I am very aware, hyper aware of body, not just my own body, but other people's, and healing different aspects through the body. It's kind of what it feels like for me. So coming in, when our bodies feel aches or pains or sluggishness, whatever it is, or just the sensation that something's off. So, we are really in the season of our body right? So when that, or if that happens, that is your heart, your main directive, your personal story, your light, your beacon. It's literally alerting you to literally wake up and realize that your energetic system is off. So those energetic centers, finally, for me, being able to sleep outside in the comforts of nature, my sleep has been otherworldly, which is the state I prefer to be in. And being between these, being in the world and of the world and of the world and not in the world is kind of a frequency that is kind of my normal everyday reality in a weird way. And I prefer to be there. So if you, like your in-body self is, or if you feel like your in-body self is, the energy is off, your body was already aware of the situation that you were actually, it's been going on for a while. It's just we kick that awareness out until it literally wipes us out, kind of, in a way. So, however, your heart space, your heart center is online, and it's just becoming more aware. So you kind of want to feel into your own personal alert system of embodiedness. And also, if you neglected any aspects of your health narrative, your health story, I know I have. I traditionally am a green smoothie drinker. I exercise. So a lot of the things that were regular habits for me were kind of hard to get back into the ritual. So things like that might actually come out in the forefront today. It could be little things, really those little daily habits, like even putting my ritual for the moon off for a day. So whatever it is for you that actually comes up, any bodily aches, any area of your body that your heart channel literally put on the back burner, the ones that we neglect to literally pour love into and nurture those aspects. I spent the day yesterday cleaning out one of my sheds, which took me all day long. And everything in the shed was stuff of my mother's that I just had sitting in there, not even opened or looking at for over 10, 15 years. And I invited my siblings, the estranged ones, to come get some trinkets that I have of my mother's. They aren't getting any love in my shed, right? So I'm recycling them. It's the memories in our bones and connecting to our ancestral realm, the spirit that ultimately we derive from, and the essence. So that's why connecting with ancestors, ancestralization, is a huge aspect, a narrative that we need to kind of go back to and reestablish that connection. So anything that you have been deficient in giving love to, or even attention to, is actually going to stand out today. You might get you could stub your toe in all actuality. Hang on, I don't see my comments. Hang on, I got to find my little comment button. There it is. Oh, thanks. I didn't do my hair today. Thanks for noticing. That's hilarious. Now I can see my comments. Okay, so anything that you might have noticed, that is standing out. For me, I noticed like my nutrition quotient really needs to be upcycled again. Maybe your sleep isn't restful. They wasn't good for me. Haven't been able to sleep outside, which I'm telling you is a thing for me. And my dad's coming back, which I'll still be sleeping out till the snow flies, but there's all these things that come up, right? And we create our reality, so anything we resist is going to persist. And as soon as we flick our attitude, things change. So things that the body does. Maybe you need authentic rest. Take a breath, take a pause. I find people need to step back and do a breath and a pause more often on just how we treat ourselves on the inside. The body gets reflected actually on the outside. So even like exercise or lack thereof can create a sluggish energy. Today I'm going to get a double whammy. I'm going to do a back-to-back exercise routine because I need it to really boost my vitality. It's like taking a shower every day for me. It nurtures my spirit. So anything that isn't in alignment today, when we fail to listen to our body's alert signal, the magical alert signal, it's actually going to come online. So if you fail to nourish yourself when you're needing rest, you're going to become hangry, right? You have a combination of the hunger and the anger. So anything that is less than on the heart channel, less than in the heart space, will become online, and you might feel kind of edgy or uncomfortable as it shows up in obvious ways. So as you climb into your personal observation station, are you pouring quality love and attention into all those aspects and those areas of your life? And kind of just pay attention. Go ahead and be a scribe, write it down, and measure it. Measure the frequency of love that you're giving yourself on your personal channel. Is it love and affection and attention to your own self, your inner beingness, your body? So as you explore your inner self, your emotional channel, what do you feel in your heart about yourself? So the core of our emotional foundation comes from our heart center, our heart channel, of how much we actually invest into tuning into the frequency of what we are feeling any given moment, or even how nurturing are you to your feelings. So it really comes down to what you believe you need, not what somebody else outside of you believes you need. That happens a lot. So you need to love your feelings and give them the love they need. So you want to nurture your inner sadness and ask yourself, why am I sad today? It might just be a feeling. Give yourself a whoopee if you need it. Go get a popsicle. Whatever it is, a piece of chocolate. Doesn't really matter. But you want to take the time to actually do that intentionally and explore yourself at how you respond and treat yourself in your heart space, your heart narrative, your center, that channel as a habit. So then what happens, how you treat yourself on the daily in your inner world is actually how people see us in person. So it's that reflection outside of us. So how do you respond to yourself in your inner world? What's the habit that you say as you look into the magic mirror of your own personal self-reflection? And just notice if you're coming from a space of love or a space of fear in your heart center, your heart's channel. That's what resides there, right? So what's the quality of love that you're actually giving to your body? Are you lacking love in your health department? Just allow the gnats, I tell people all the time, flick it away, just flick them away. The things that bring you down in reality. So is it, I ask people all the time, is it self-loving to let those tiny imperfections ruin your personal joy channel? If that's happening, if that's your narrative, it's really time to recalibrate your mind and your ego. I talk a lot about this in the balance of being, not so much probably in Change Your Stars, but maybe the energy body. So those are some courses to get you on your way if you're interested in recalibration. So it's like our mind and our ego are terrorizing ourselves. So you're giving them permission to kind of be that bully inside of you, which isn't healthy, right? So you just want to be aware of your personal self-talk and also your actions. Loving yourself down to every cell in your beingness. So it's this hyper gate. And our heart channel is actually right at the center of our grid line. So it's just great to literally take a pause and reflect on, like, where were you a year ago? I usually, I do New Year's based on the day you're born, not January 1st. So I go back a year and then I recalibrate my goals for the flowing into the next year. So my new year started in June. So I'm recalibrating the ideas that the narrative of what came in a year ago and reestablishing that foundation. So what was the relationship status that you had with your heart center along with your emotional foundation? What has it turned into this year? So we can recalibrate and rebuild whatever it is at any time and space. We're not stuck. We just need to pop the notch or cinch it up a little tighter, whatever you feel called to. Myself, I've been questioning what is real or even reality itself. I felt like I am in a movie with a really strange narrative, and I feel like I'm running out of popcorn. Like, what? The popcorn's running out. So if you want to evolve karmically or spiritually for that matter and move the karmic reservoir, the sludge, out, and I really think karma flows in both channels. It could be good and it can be bad. There's always that narrative. And just reconnecting with the ancient knowledge. It's actually one of the aspects in my cowrie shell divinations is this ancient knowledge, this wisdom that comes from other ancient civilizations and those skills. It's like Lemuria or Atlantis or Orion, and there's so many, or even just alternate lifetimes. So how can somebody facilitate traveling to inter and interdimensional spaces and access insights into the library of records, the Akashic, or even others? We have the Book of Life, we have the Book of Shadows, going back into a karmic past to release all of those negative emotions that may or may not have actually carried over, and literally recover from any kind of loss. So it takes a bit of work. Acknowledge, access, and actualize things. So our heart channel is literally online today. So today's a day to be more loving to yourself, to your body, to where you have actually landed your vessel, not to where you have not landed. The heart center's online, so it's any shade of green. I'm actually wearing dark blue. It could be yellow green. It could be lime green, forest green, less ferngully green. So eat your greens, especially with the Daymaster today being Wood Daymaster. It's Kermit the Frog Day in a way. So spinach. Mine would be actually arugula. Those bitter greens, they're of a fire energy, where spinach is of a water. Curious enough, the weird things I know. That's just some food for thought. The seed sound for today is it's the channel of our heart. So it's yam. It's YAM. It's the A and the word play to give you an idea. So I would chant that, throughout the day, maybe every hour on the hour, just to kind of recalibrate your heart center and tune into your feeling state of awareness. A couple of the angelic beings that I mused about this morning. Of course, we still have Metatron and Raziel and Jeremial. Now, Metatron, if this was me and I was kind of new to the angelic realm, I would play with the Merkaba, maybe have it come in a different shade of green. It could go from yellow green into pure shade of green, and then switch it into the bluish shades of green, just to cleanse out your energetic centers in body and out of body and out into your auric field. Raziel is the secrets of God. This is like knowing all of the secrets of the universe. It's this wizardry, Gandalf, angelic being. He removes the blocks to what ails us. He clears our pathway into the realms of our intuition, our perceptions, unlocking our divine potential, our purpose from our heart center, our heart channel. He even assists in removing blocks from past lives and incarnations. So it's kind of funny that he's online today, the blocks to our spiritual gifts. So pretty magical in all aspects, in all reality, right? And then Jeremial's the mercy of God. So with that, I would say, where can you be more merciful to yourself? And he heals our emotional issues. So if you're feeling less than in your heart center, your love channel, I would call him in. He's like this angelic psychologist in the realm of spirit. So he's like this spirit therapist. So he assists in getting us to the root cause of an issue, so that we can kind of shift and change and transform. And he also, curiously enough, he assists in the records if you want to pipe into your own personal library, those Akashic records, the Book of Life, the Book of Shadows, which, working through shadows is kind of the narrative on the earth journey. But his main question, actually, the main question he asks is, how much did you love? Not just of others, but wholeheartedly of yourself. So do I love myself, or how do you love yourself? And any negative thoughts about your body or otherwise is absolutely, it's not truly loving at all, right? So with that, let's check out the cards. So this is hilarious, right? So let's get rid of that and add that. So this is my from the Cosmic deck. The consciousness, I think it's consciousness. I don't know. It's consciousness something. I kind of like the light language of it. So we have hopelessness and Orion, and it's releasing. That's what the Orions do. Orions, sorry. And I was actually just in a Zoom class last night, and we were musing about the beings of Orion, Sirius, Atlantis, the Lemurians, and so much more. So I was actually called to just use this deck. I can't remember if I've ever pulled an Orion card, though. they've had this powerful transformation. Possibly they're the most dramatic of all of the races, from the deep pain, the deep wisdom pain, and even separation. But they found this kind of redeeming quality and a connection. So a lot of the dramas and traumas on Earth are soul healing from this Orion experience. This is where the Star Wars sagas actually came in. It was kind of like this Orion's drama remembered and put into a movie. Even like the story of Christ is kind of derived from this Orion experience, even though the story, the narrative's changed a bit, right? But their energy is it's a powerful catalyst for change, and it's the courage to heal in an assisting kind of way for humanity to actually grow into a natural connection that actually elevates that wood energy, elevation, all of life. Because if you think about trees, they expand out. So we often resist a lot of our painful energies that are there. They're kind of a direct path to improve ourselves. So their energy of releasing or transforming works along with empowerment in different, in kind of profound ways, actually. So this allows our divine nature, our God channel, to actually blossom forward like a blossom. A tree blossoms, right? In the spring and then the summer, and expanding like our potential that we have in life. We can do this in whatever our story is. And then expansion is actually the next process or the next step of ascension. So it's a result of our courage and also of our clarity. And life is always supporting us towards that kind of growth. It's kind of funny that I pulled this card with the Yang Yaaaay Wood Daymaster, growth and expansion. So when you think of hope, hope's a state of movement that actually compels us to improve. It's not just an optimistic kind of drug. It's this vital, energetic emotion of having a healthy psyche. So it's the promise of having improvement, which is inherent. It's like it pulls us in life with different challenges that we often face. So this card and the Orions, they're offering us this opportunity to strengthening inside of us and outside of us, where hope literally provides us with inspiration in spirit, right, to actually move forward. So even if we sometimes need to stop and take a breath, take a pause, grieve, rest, open our eyes to a new perspective, that's how the Orions actually found that hope. And it compelled them through dark times to actually heal both their separation and the suppression. So it's the heart ultimately that allowed the hope to enter into the experience. Then the mind actually steps in and assists in actually choosing the future, shifting the narrative, the story. So today, ultimately, really nurture your heart, because you're going to be releasing some fears. Things might be compelled inside of you where you're moving towards the joy molecules, and also a different kind of empowerment that, we are inside of us, within us, right? So there's this power that's invisible, but yet it's profound. So it's like this nuclear capability within an atom. The smallest things actually have the most strength and the power, and it's our inner love. It's our love inside of us. So this card, now we get to the card, it's reminding us the way to get past and through something. Boy, that took a minute. And having the courage to actually embrace our hopelessness actually results in this releasing. So also having faith that you're absolutely 100% capable, and allow your hopelessness to resolve through the blessings of time and space. And the light language, that's actually igniting our spark of hope and keeps us moving forward. It soothes our fears, maybe the fears that have made you feel like you're inadequate, to create your own joy in your own life, your day-to-day, and examine your fears and determine, what's no longer true for you. And accept in the moment without having, we don't ever have to immediately figure out the how and the when of the future. Just being in the moment, like this too shall pass. My girlfriend actually has that sitting in her kitchen when she's doing dishes. It cracks me up, but it's you know, this too shall pass. And be patient. There's a lot of healing going on behind the scenes. Now, to get to the second card I pulled today, because this is pretty funny. Ding dong, there it is. Let's get rid of that. So if you watched my show yesterday, I actually, today I went with my Angel Love Tarot deck and pulled the Ace of Wands again, which I actually pulled yesterday. So this is a card of inspiration. The wands are fire, obviously inspiration, beginnings, creativity, power. So there's this fiery excitement as our ideas literally start taking shape. You might find that you're able to communicate your brilliant plans, maybe to others, or, you know, maybe you just want to hold them close to yourself in your own heart space. And today it's actually possible, and I pulled this card 2 days in a row, so we have this possibility, obviously it's there, to create whatever actually we want. So it's time to be inspired, it's time to begin, and you might, you know, you might see the start of a new beginning, a new job, otherworldly adventure, a new relationship, a creative project in your house. You know, I'm cleaning out my shed, so I'm getting creative. A new business adventure. It could also be a breakthrough time. So you really want to make the most of your natural ambition, your vitality, and just enjoy, you know, the aspect of confidence and success, whatever that looks like for you, and bring that in. But this card is also fertility, and fertility isn't always just about babies. We tend to think that. We get a little nervous about the word fertility. But it's also growth. It's the same as our Wood Daymaster, so I thought that was pretty curious. And it's definitely a day to expand and grow in our inner garden, you know, shedding light on our ideas and loving ourselves and really climbing into our skin. So some affirmations to say for a day like today is that, you know, things where you're actually, I'm establishing habits of self-love, and whatever those are, take baby steps. You kind of have to affirm them, because it's change, right? That's the element of nature, and wood is the change, the transformation, and being authentic to yourself. Another one would be, I am connected to my personal God channel in every moment and in every way on the daily. I'm always going there. And another one I would probably say, I was called, because of the dragon, I'm magically nourished. So we have the dragon, magic, nourish is our daymaster, and actually the energy of the day, and also protected with divine love. So we are in the safe container of magic and from all courses above and not. So with that, InShalla, Ashe. Thank you, Leslie, for commenting on my brows. I do have Instagram. It's just Tonya D, all things Tonya D. With that, again, blessings, and make it a magical growth kind of day.